Yes, good morning. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are very welcome. Look at these people I got together for the echo chamber. James Flower's been driving around Norfolk all night looking for the echo chamber. He's found it. Here we are. We're all going to agree on absolutely everything. The echo chamber. Rebranding coming your way. Welcome to Danny as well. He's up. He's awake. I WhatsApped him about God, he WhatsApped me before 10 a.m. I can't believe it. The boy was up. He was up. Was Danny. And there's Benji. He's always up. He's always sprightly. Let's see what golden nuggets of info Benji's got for us this morning. Please, if you would like replica shirts, like the black one you can see here, I think they've got about 30 different options. Go to okjersey.com, either on the website or scan the QR code and use the discount code for 8% off of Savva. Please, SAVVA. It's not me being precious about my name. People keep trying to get the discount on OK Jersey by putting one V. It won't work. You need to spell the name correctly. And if you go to matchbingo.com, Perchie won on Match Bingo last night, by the way. Perchie won a line on Match Bingo, not the line that your heads all straight away went to. Perchie won a line on Match Bingo last night. So please scan the QR code, get over there and get ready for tonight's games on Match Bingo. Guys, welcome. How are we all doing this morning? Before we talk about the game, is everyone good?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, good. Listen, a win's a win as well. So you can't feel bad about it. It's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Lubo's arrived. Morning. It must be a good day for all concerned. Lubo is in the house.
Morning.
How are we doing, Lubo? You good?
All good, you?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. It's a bit quiet your end. I don't know if anyone else hears that, or maybe I just got something in my ear. Little tiny bit quiet.
Is that better?
Yeah, don't be afraid to shout like you probably were at the Spurs players last night. Don't be afraid. Big up to each and every one of you. Let's start. James, first of all, sorry. How are you, sir? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Dreadful weather outside, but I'm good.
It is horrendous. I opened the door about an hour ago. Dogs on leads. Stanley was right out there, let me out the rain. Stewie took one look outside and went, nah, we're not going anywhere, mate. But it is what it is. And Danny, how you doing, mate? You good? You had a coffee? You lively?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Apart from having to watch that game again this morning.
Oh, you watched it again?
Yeah, because I fell asleep with about 20 minutes to go last night. So I watched it again this morning.
No, I could have sent you a picture of some paint drying. And look, we've got a full house today. You can tell Spurs have played. We've got Ben K, the mod father from over there in, I always say Essex. I am right with that, aren't I?
I am in Essex, just about.
Essex. How you doing, Ben? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit tired after last night, but that's what coffee's for, isn't it?
Exactly. Everyone's on the coffee other than me because I think it's disgusting.
New coffee as well. So get your new seasonal special is in now. So come on down to Woodford. Come on down.
Before we start, get the admin out of the way. Smash the like button. Please subscribe to all of my guests. You know all of their channels. You've got Dan at the Hotspur Hood. You've got Ben K at the Calfee Company and Tottenham on tour. Please subscribe to Lubo at the Spurs 5. And if you want any plumbing done, get yourself over to Flowers Plumbing and Heating. There you go. He's wearing his t-shirt. There you go. Get it done. And subscribe to my channel as well. Guys, without any further ado, big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all well. Last night, anyone could start. I'll sum it up in one sentence and then I'll let you lot go. For me, 3 points in the bag. Not really a lot to write home about, but a good 3 points in the Champions League. Who would like to start and give me their summary of what we saw yesterday?
Go on, I'll start. I think it's a good thing, when a team's not playing well and they're picking up wins and clean sheets. Wasn't the best of performances. Thought a lot of the passing was very sloppy. We're struggling, it's still early days for Frank. And he's trying to put together partnerships, combinations, and it will happen, but this is only a 6th competitive game. And, over 90 minutes, we've only lost one match, which was Bournemouth. So for me, not the best. He'll be working on it. Spurs will be improving game by game. And I'm sure, within 2 or 3 months, we'll be seeing big improvements in the way we're playing. But as I say, he's only been here 3 months. He's had 6 competitive games. And so far, so good. You'd have taken this a month ago, wouldn't you? Good start in the Champions League. And let's face it, it was funny. It was like a Europa League game yesterday. I thought there were a lot of empty seats, which I think proves that the pricing should have been lower. Should have
leave it out. Leave it out. Get the movement going, Lubo. Leave it out.
And I thought the fans were a bit subdued as well. The performance was. The refereeing, I thought, was a bit over officious. First half, was handing out yellow cards like confetti, and maybe 1 or 2 of them were only deserving of a yellow card. But again, another clean sheet. I think that the back four, you can see are starting to gel, and we missed Paulinho in front of the back four. That when he came on, the spaces in front of us, which were brought about by our own passing. Romero had like 2 minutes where he tried passing twice through the lines. That for him normally he's accurate, and it was like, whoa, what's going on here? And we got out of trouble. But by and large, you can see the back four that were hardly breached. Mickey was lucky with that tackle on, was it Mkhitaryan in the last few minutes? He could have gone through, could have pulled him back, could have given him a red for that. Could have given Xavi Simons a red for the second yellow card, which, thankfully he didn't, because I thought the first one was undeserved. But by and large, it was a poor game. I don't think Villareal were particularly good. Their passing was sloppy as well. And thankfully they couldn't finish. So you come away, not a good performance, but just part of a learning curve for Frank. His first game in the Champions League. So pleased to see that he got off to a good start. So although the performance was very underwhelming, the important thing at the end of the day is you get your wins. Always in cup football and in any football, and we did that. So, on to Brighton, and no injuries as well.
Just before we move on to the next person, I'll do individual players a little bit after everyone's given a summary. Can we just say, MP 1981? Can I just say, I'm seeing a lot of comments like this. I feel like there's a lot of revisionism going on here. If you actually remember Pochettino's first season at Tottenham, it wasn't what you're suggesting here.
No.
If you remember, and I'm sure the panel will agree with me, in Pochettino's first season, he was very close to actually leaving the club because it wasn't good. So I think everyone's got to take just a backward step and realise we are 6 official, if you want to count PSG, 6 official games into a manager's tenure, and people are judging him against what Pochettino took years to master the art of. And this is where I do think that football, we don't help, YouTubers, pundits, people don't help because we want everything like that. But can we please not just pretend that Pochettino turned up and in his first 5 games, Spurs were playing swashbuckling football and everyone looked amazing.
With Yunus Kabul at the back, Yunus Kabul and players like that.
It was a Harry Kane
Tommy
free
Carroll,
kick.
do you know what I mean? I do think people have got just a little bit of that tunnel vision now that Frank's going to rock up and in one game we're going to be like, oh my God, it's like Barcelona from Pep Guardiola's era. Who would like to go? Anyone agree with Lubo? Disagree with Lubo?
I don't disagree with Lubo, but the difference in how tactical it is from the Europa League to the Champions League, I think people were trying to disrespect Villareal because I think Villarreal are a very good team. I think they actually got it tactically spot on yesterday. What they got wrong was the goalkeeper making a massive mistake and it went in the back of the net, which is why you have Vicario, James's goalkeeper, up. They were tactically very good. They saw that we wanted to play Bentancur in that number 6 position, and we wanted to cause transitions by playing Sarr and Bergvall further forward, which would overload their midfield. So what they did was they played a 4-4-2, and they put a box with their 2 wingers and their 2 centre midfielders round our midfield. So anytime Bentancur tried to receive the ball, both Sarr and Bergvall there was no chance of them receiving the ball, which meant loads of sloppy passes. And I thought Bentancur had a very, very good. I thought he was our best player yesterday.
I agree. I
thought he was our best player. Every time he received the ball and tried to put his head up, you had 4 players around him, and it was very difficult to move that ball forward into Bergvall, into Sarr, to move the ball forward. So I think tactically, the Champions League is a very, very different kettle of fish from the Europa League. Well, a lot of the team we are going to be playing teams we played in the Europa League, so let's see if they level up from the Europa League to the Champions League. I thought Villareal played very, very well yesterday, and they were unlucky to come away from that game with a point. But we as Lubo said, we'd take that. We were solid at the back, and as Thomas Frank said in multiple interviews, that it's building the foundations of making a football team. He's building the foundations. We've gone from a team that can't defend for toffee to a team you really, even though Villareal probably should have had a few more shots on target, they didn't have a single shot on target yesterday, which is their poor planning. Not them. That's why you don't get players like Nicolas Pepe in Arsenal, 72 million. They didn't have a shot on target, which is a testament to us being very solid at the back. And you've got to build from the back. And that's what Thomas Frank, he's focusing on building from the back. And Justin Cochran is still trying to knit together those partnerships between Spence and Xavi. I think Xavi is wasted out on the left personally. But at this moment in time, we don't have those players to play on the left. So he can play in the middle. So we'll get
to Xavi Simons and the left-hand side.
What we have to do is get the best of what we've got, play with the cards we've got. And we've won another game. We've only conceded 1 goal in the Premier League and the Champions League this year. So that's a positive. But poor performance, in my opinion. But that's more tape to go back to the strategic room to show to the players, this is how you do this better. This is how you do this. But we've got a coach now, and he's going to coach them through this. But defensively, I'm very, very happy that we've very, very solid. Few mistakes. Mickey van der Ven had an excellent game until that moment, and I thought that was a very, very silly tackle. His pace isn't going to bail him out every single time, so it's got to be a bit more. Can't have brain farts in the Champions League. And I thought Kudus was excellent as well. And what a signing he's been. I think he's very underrated in the Spurs shirt, and people more West Ham fans were disrespecting him when he made the jump to Spurs. I think he looks like he's going to be a top player for Spurs. So I'm very happy with the overall performance, but going forward, we need to knit the transition, and we've got to be better at playing teams like Villareal, who do like to play in the mid-block and like to win the ball high up the pitch and transition. We've got to be better at playing against those transitional teams.
Yeah. I don't disagree. James, Benji, Dan, whoever would like to go.
Yeah, I don't think we did too bad, but I do think. I know probably going to go down like a lead balloon, but I think Frank got it wrong. I think he got it wrong. I think if you're going to play Simmons on the left, I say he's got it wrong. I don't know what's going on with Udogie. If you're going to play Simmons on the left, you have to play Udogie, in my opinion, because Simmons wants to come in and Udogie's naturally wants to overlap, whereas Spence naturally wants to cut inside along with Simmons. So for me, that's the one sort of tactical thing I would say. I mean, you guys are all giving high praise to Kudus. I didn't see it yesterday, to be honest. I genuinely thought that he did everything really well to start off with, but then he took touch after touch after touch after touch. The attack broke down. He tried to do too much, in my opinion.
Why?
Yeah, no, I know. But you can't praise somebody.
It's important. You know, if you're going to say a sentence like that, it's important to acknowledge that, and this is where I will defend Kudus. It's important to acknowledge that, and this is what Dimitar Berbatov said last night when he was talking about Kudus. He said, if you look at him, he said he looks up and he looks for a number 10 that he can play off and do 1-2s with. No one there. He looks to a centre forward that he can play off, that he can do 1-2s with. There's no one there. He's got no one around him.
No, I agree, but at the same time, there are times where you think, right, if there's no one around, drive with it. Like actually be a bit direct. He never looks like he's ever going to score a goal, or he hasn't so far. He never looks like he's going to beat his man and get a shot off, or beat his man and go for goal. And that for me is one. What? When has he ever looked like scoring since he signed? He's played 5-6 games. He's never looked like scoring.
When we say when has he ever looked like scoring, people have got to look at the full makeup of a player and a team and the way they play. Problem is, Kudus is being used as our outlet out on the right wing, right? So everything is going through him. All of the corners are created through him beating a man, getting crosses in, they're getting blocked, yada, yada, yada. Great. He is beating a man. He is direct. The problem you've got is, as I said, there's no centre forward there taking players away, allowing space for him to drive through the middle. There's no playmaker in the middle of the pitch that's taking a defender or a DM away. So whenever Kudus gets the ball, he's running into traffic. And this I'll get to this later, right, in more detail. But this, again, is what happens when you don't buy what you need. This is what happens. Teams look at Kudus and go, that's your danger man. Villareal did it last night. He gets the ball, 1, 2, 3 men around him. And now all of a sudden we're going, right, beat all 3 of them and get a shot away. He needs support. And when I was growing up, we talked a lot about the wall pass. I don't know if anyone's ever seen talk about the wall pass, which is simple. Somebody, when I get the ball, who can I play it off the wall, i.e. another player, and go and get it again? At the moment, he's having to come all the way across the other side of the pitch to link up with Xavi Simons because he's out on the left. I think he was very good last night. I do. I think he's been really good this season.
I think he's been good. I think he's been good this season. Listen, we'll have to agree to disagree because for me, listen, I don't think he did anything wrong either. I'm not saying he was bad. I just think he was the same as everybody else. I know what you're saying about the wall pass give and go. Xavi Simons continuously done 1-2s with Bergvall or 1-2s with Spence. And for me, listen, I'm being hypercritical here because I know he's capable of more. I'd like to see him pop the ball inside and actually go down the line rather than wait for the ball back at his feet, trying to take on every single player, which, look, we know he can do. Sometimes it hasn't always got to be that. And also sort of sticking up for him. Other than Xavi Simons and maybe Porro, I don't think we have a good footballer in the squad.
I agree.
Footballer. So
a technical ball player you're talking about.
Yeah, just a good, like when you go good footballer, right? He doesn't have to do anything else. Just a good footballer.
You're talking about attacking wise because Romero's super.
No, he's not. He's 50-50.
Romero's good at those long diagonal you always do this. He was shit last night, Lubo.
He was terrible. Yes, he was.
You're out on your own if you think Romero was shit.
Well, I'm not. I just heard 2 other people on the show go, yes, he was, Lubo.
I didn't think he was shit.
Christian Romero.
Misplaced passes. He got caught in midfield. He dived out once first half.
So I'm guessing then.
Hang on, let me just finish what I was going to say to James on Kudus.
Go on.
To add to what
you can never admit when a player does poorly that you like. That's your tunnel vision.
No, I gave Romero a 7. I mentioned the 2 misplaced passes, and he dived out once and he got caught in midfield.
No, that's not true. Luba, that's not true. In the first half.
Let me just finish let me just want to say about Kudus.
Don't say something that makes me want to retort then if you want to say about something else.
Right. Let me just say about Kudus. He's picking the ball up out wide. They're doubling up. He needs to be given the ball further up where he can do damage, where he's a one-on-one, where he's going to beat his man most times. And the problem is because he's so deep and because they're closing him, he's having to come across and literally go across midfield because he hasn't got a 10. If they can get him further up, for me, he'll do more damage in terms of goals and assists. At the moment,
yeah, I agree with that. That's exactly what I said. I'd rather him be further forward than getting the ball deep. But he's also got to initiate that sometimes with making a run off the ball rather than waiting for the ball to come to his feet. Yeah. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. I'd like to see balls put through to him. To be honest, to more balls put in down the line to go on, take the man. Put him into the final third because he's picking the ball up very deep, unfortunately, at the moment.
But this is what happened when you don't buy a ball playing midfielder as well.
That's right. What you're doing, they're playing across the back. It's coming to Porro, and Porro's playing it down the line to Kudus. And he's sort of got his back to goal. He's in his own half.
But as I said to you,
the player we
other day,
needed,
you can't play Bergvall and Sarr in the same game.
No, they're both there just
Bergvall and
sticking.
Sarr play together. Neither of them can put their foot on the ball and dictate. Neither of them are
Unfortunately, the guy we needed on that pitch yesterday was commentating. That's the perfect midfielder that you need. That is what we need. Michael Carrick.
Oh, for sure.
That is the kind of player we need. Someone that don't want to do any attacking, almost don't want to do any defending. He's just the stress release valve, and it's just like, okay, now breathe. Carrick's got the ball. Breathe. Modric, breathe.
Okay.
We just need someone like that.
I think Paulinho did a lot of that yesterday, James, and I think when Bentancur had an even better game when Paulinho came on, because whenever as I said in my sort of long monologue, when Bentancur, he was always having to look forward, but when Paulinho came on, he could look to the side, which would then create that he could pass it to Paulinho, he could then move and make the other side of that triangle. Unfortunately, that triangle was well too big when it was just Bentancur. When you need to make little triangles to progress your way up the pitch, and I think having two players that naturally want to go forward, because I think Sarr is under a Thomas Frank. He's someone that wants to go forward and drive forward using his athleticism and overload players with his sure energy. When you've got Bergvall, who also wants to sort of do that and get people looking at their own goal, you need someone that's going to be that sort of halfway house between the two of them, who's going to get the ball, paces, and then
when
move
it comes
it.
to Sarr, but when it comes to Sarr, I know this could sound like horrible because people love him. I don't think the guy's got one single footballing brain cell available. I think against PSG in the Champions League, and you're winning 1-0, God forbid, I think that is the guy I want them to bring on, because I think he's going to give you every bit of work rate, every bit of energy, every breath in his lungs physically possible. The moment you give the guy time on the ball, I think he struggles. I think he's got a good snapshot. He's buried a few. He had a good one yesterday. But I think when you go, right, play football, I think he goes, what do we do? I think he's very...
Before we go into individual... We've kind of gone down the rabbit hole of individual players. I want to get Benji and Dan...
I've got to fly. I just want to say, for me, going through the three areas of the pitch, I thought Mickey, Bergvall and Kudus were our best three last night. What did
Bergvall do that
people
was
busy?
Going,
he was the only one picking up the ball and driving at them. It was, Simmons was closed out. Kudus had 2 or 3 players on him. I thought Bergvall had the most space out of all of them, and I think we had a decent game.
But delivered nothing when it comes to the final third, when he had several opportunities to do it. This is where he needs to improve.
He did make the assist.
I thought Richie would get the end off. He didn't create anything either. There was nothing creative last night. It was really crazy.
I feel like the recency bias on certain players is amazing. I think Percy made a great point to me last night. He said, if a 28-year-old had played how Bergvall did yesterday, would he have got man of the match? I don't know what I'm watching that game going.
I thought Mickey was man of the match first.
Yeah. No, I know, but the point is, Bergvall at the moment seems to rock up. It doesn't matter if he does nothing at all. People go, I thought he was busy. Listen to when people are talking. Solanke, he works hard. Bergvall, he's busy. Have you noticed when we're talking about these players, we never talk about the quality as to why they were good. We always talk about they run around.
There wasn't much quality last night, in fairness.
Bergvall did make the goal, though. We do have to give him the credit. He made the goal.
Yeah, I mean,
he did make a goal.
But Ben, you can make a goal and score a goal and still have a terrible game, can't you?
Yeah,
I know. Brennan Johnson's made a career out of it, Dan. Brennan Johnson's made a career
exactly.
out of it. I thought Bergvall was okay. I think Bentancur was our best midfielder, but Bergvall's busyness to get into that Bergvall's busyness to get into that area to make that crossing made the goal.
Just before Lubo goes, and just probably the other two in, this is the problem. There are certain people that when you like them, you can't critique them. Like yesterday, I've got to bring this up with Lubo just before he goes. With this whole Romero only misplaced 2 passes. Hang on, let's get right deep into this. In that first half, a ball came over the top. Romero dillied and dallied and watched it. let it
allowed
bounce.
It to bounce, yeah.
Right?
He allowed it to bounce.
Then missed the tackle. Then when he got the ball, played it straight to their player, and it was laid across, and Buchanan missed a shot which he should have driven into the bottom corner. Romero was poor then, right? In the second half, he did the same, and Mickey van der Ven got him out of trouble 2 or 3 times. His passing through the lines was terrible. But whatever Romero does now, people go, "Oh, Romero's good." This is what Danny and I have been saying, Lubo, for years. Me and Dan have been saying this. Sorry, Dan, I'm grouping you in here for a little bit of support. You know, like my dad's bigger than yours type thing, right? We've been saying this for ages. Christian Romero has great game, and you're like, brilliant, follow that up. And the next game, you can guarantee your bottom dollar that Romero's going to switch off, not look on it. And that we've seen that. PSG, brilliant. Burnley, crap. Right? Man City, brilliant. Bournemouth, crap. Right? West Ham, brilliant. Who did we play last night? Villareal, bang average. This is the problem, Lubo. People keep going, "Oh, he's one of the best in the world."
I thought he did a lot.
Games like last night, then.
Sav, I thought he did a lot that was good. Wasn't
Like
one of his
what? What did he
games,
do last night?
Oh, come on. All right.
Mickey did everything last night. Mickey was Superman last night.
He had a super game. For me, he was man of
Yeah,
the match.
but he's done that all year covering for Romero.
And it's back to the same thing with Romero. 1 minute there, 1 minute there. So
Exactly.
since the start of the season, we can say he's had 2 good games, 3 bad games. The bad is outweighing the good.
If you had PSG,
a world-class player,
3-3.
Okay, if you had played, I'll add PSG.
Yeah.
You say 3-3. Yeah, that looks like a world-class player, doesn't it? But people seem to like to forget that with Romero because he's the main man. He's one of the best defenders on the planet. On his day, he's a very, very world-class defender. On another day, he's bang average at very best. If anything, poor than bang average, because you can't have a world-class player, a quality player, and a captain now turning up 1 minute, disappearing the next, because he just seems to play like that and then drop down to that. And then I hear off a lot of people, "Oh, but he had a superb game." No, he bloody didn't, and he screwed up more than
I've got to shoot.
All right,
I'll try and catch up. I'll try and get on back a bit later.
Cheers, Dan, see on your point here. Before I come back to you, Dan, see on your point here. I've literally just got an alert through of Ali Gold's player ratings from last night, right? Now, straight away, because we're talking about it, I've just looked to see what he said about Romero and Van der Ven. This is where I don't understand what people are watching, right? Here you go. This is what he said. Christian Romero, a 7. Not much got past the captain with some strong moments in possession. Isn't it funny that he's not mentioned the number of times he gave it away and they had shots on our goal, the number of times he missed headers, right? Then, listen to this. This is what pissed me off about that. Not that he gave Romero a 7. Mickey van der Ven, 7, right? He's given the same mark to Van der Ven as Romero. Made some good interceptions, but was fortunate to get only a yellow card for a foul. He would have got a higher mark for that moment that ended up saving Spurs 3 points, luckily. Like, who is watching that game and going, Romero and Van der Ven were on par? Honestly, the bias is just overwhelming for me, Dan.
The reason it could have gone down to a 7 is because really in a lot of other games he would have got a red card for that. He was very lucky last night. Now, do I think those should be yellow cards, whatever? You know my opinion on it. It's meant to be a contact sport, but we're basically talking football is pretty much a non-contact sport now. I'd say about 90%. I mean, you flick someone on the ear roll, you can get a bloody red card. With Van der Ven, he could have got a red card very easily last night.
It was that was a traditional. That was Dan, a traditional Italian tackle late into a game. It was a bit naughty, but you get away with it because it was shoulder to shoulder. It was one of those, wasn't it? On another day,
going away from goal, Romero was there as well. It's never a red.
It was
never going to be a red.
On another day, he could have easily got a red for that off the way some of the referees are, especially over here anyway. I've seen players get sent off for less. Let's just put it that way.
It was a total he knew he was in the shit because he was too far up the pitch. He had a bit of a brain fart. So what you do, take him out.
But the ball's going away from goal, and Christian Romero's there as well. I don't understand what part of us is thinking.
He was slightly. It was. I think he was on another.
Slightly behind.
It depends on the ref, doesn't it? Depends on the ref.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I wouldn't call that a red card. I'd say
No, that's like saying if the ref fucks up, it's a red card. But because he didn't, it's not.
but I've seen referees give red cards for significant.
Yeah, but they're normally mistake that we say is like that's never a red.
I'm not saying it should have been a red. I'm saying it was
Yeah,
lucky it wasn't a red down to the referee. With the rest of the game, I mean, what was it you said, James, a minute ago? He should be playing a doggy there with
Simmons.
Savva. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the one who told me the other day that Spence is better getting forward and better than the doggy, and he's cracked down forward.
No, but what I'm saying is he's naturally left-footed, though, isn't he? He naturally wants to go onto his left foot, where Spence naturally wants to come onto his right foot. So I think if you're going to play Simmons, who's going to want to come inside, rather than have Simmons and Spence coming inside, I would have Simmons coming inside, Udogie going on the outside. If you was to play someone like Brennan, if you was going to play Brennan Johnson, who's played there most of the time, then I would have Spence, because Spence will come inside and Brennan Johnson just stands there like a fairy.
I mean, that's why I said to you, Udogie is better at going forward. If you're going to play going forward on that one, I mean, with yesterday, I think it's starting to show. I can only say from the games I've seen that Frankie's going to prefer playing with a DM instead of a 10. So I think you're going to see, apart from the odd game where we play a 4-2-3-1, I mean, we was at home last night, but didn't go for the attacking formation as such. I think you're going to see Savvy out on the left. I think you're going to see Savvy out on the left. Well, we do. We got Simmons. And then we got options of what we can put on the left, but it depends what the manager prefers, doesn't it? I mean, Benton.
But you can think Danny don't rate them, right? Can we all agree?
Yeah, right? Quite easily, though.
If we look at the left-sided players that have either left the club this year or are still at the club, right? Son has gone. Timo Werner went back from his loan. Brian Hill was sold. Solomon's been sent out on loan. Matisse Tell doesn't ever get a start on the left, and Odegaard never gets a start on the left. This has got to tell us that Thomas Frank wants a left-sided player. This has got to show us, right, that he doesn't rate any of them.
I would think so, but only time will tell whether he actually prefers a DM or a 10. That's all I'm saying with that one. I mean, Bentancur, for me, in the first half, good. Second half, I thought he was pretty poor. He done his usual stuff of what he's been known for doing all his career, and just switching off for moments. And he switched off about 3 or 4 times last night in the second half. But overall, I think he had a good game. He just had his moments again where he just sort of switches off. And it's one thing he's been known since Juventus, basically. I didn't think the ref was bad. Didn't think he was great, but I didn't think he was bad. I mean, we were lucky not to get a red card on there. Savvy could have got a second yellow card as well. Not that I agreed with the first one he got, but he could have got another yellow card as well. I mean, I thought the passing last night was absolutely shocking. I really did think it was that bad. I mean, how many times did we give the ball away in a matter of, 2 or 3 minutes? How many times did Bentancur pass it up there? Spence pass it, Porro and Romero, and literally not one ball made it to the other player, basically. And it wasn't even that they was intercepting that well. It was just some of the passing last night was really lame. I mean, and going on with that, I mean, Spence last night, that was probably one of the worst games I've seen him play in the past 6 months that we've seen him play for us. But you're not going to play perfect every game. I personally thought he proper struggled with Pepe last night compared to other players he's played against. Better players than Pepe, basically. I think we were lucky that they didn't get a goal because they had enough shots to get a goal, but their shooting was terrible. I think a better team would have actually put 1 or 2 of them in the back of the net last night. Kudus, I sort of agree with James. In his defence, what option has he got to pass it? But I do think he takes that extra. I do think he takes that extra touch or two where he could cross it, but then he had no option to put it in there. Richarlison, just do we need to go any further with that?
We'll get to him because we'll get to him.
Overall,
I've had enough. I'm going to go. I'm going to lay right into. I'm not going to be polite about Richarlison.
Overall, we only got a win because their goalkeeper made one of the most horrendous mistakes I've been since that Liverpool goalkeeper made the mistakes against Real Madrid. That is the reason we got a win, not because we was better, not because we was all over them. We got that because their goalkeeper screwed up. I don't think Frank played with the right formation last night. I think he should have gone 4-2-3-1. I think we could have got more out of it like that. But again, it's only our fifth, sixth game, whatever, and that we'll let things progress from there. A win's a win at the end of the day, but I'm not going to sit here and big up that game in any means or manner when I honestly do think we were really poor. If that would have been a better team, we would have got done in that game completely, because they did have chances. They just couldn't get it on target.
We do have to remember here. It's the conversation I've been having in one of my WhatsApp groups this morning. I think we do need to remember a little bit here. This is a manager that's come in and picks up a club that had no structure, no defense, finished 17th, lost nearly every week. And I think after, not saying you, but I think after 5 games, everyone's expecting that he's fixed the defense, the midfield, and the forward line in 5 games of football, and that we're going to suddenly be amazing. I said it at the beginning of the summer, Dan. I think this year we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see some really good games, some poor games while he's figuring a lot of stuff out. And I think that what we can't do is lose our mind. Not you, I'm just off the back of, I just don't think we can lose our minds every time we don't play like prime Barcelona.
I think the most important thing, and he knew it, and half of the players knew it, was winning. First Champions League game, it's like, right, we have to get these 3 points on the board. And for me, that showed. I would say the way I would describe that game is, if that was away at Villareal, I would have said perfect game plan. You did what you need to do. You come back with a point. Because it's at home, I would have liked to have seen a bit more. But like you said, we are 5-6 games in. I think sometimes, if I'm going to say, I think Kudus could relax a little bit. I think he would be better if he didn't feel like he had to do so much. I think the same with Bergvall. I think Bergvall was trying too much. I think Simmons, for me, looks a bit rusty. I think he's still got another couple of gears to go. So, yeah, I know we're going to go on to play. So I'll kind of just say, yeah.
I mean, last thing to what you said, Savva, just to reply to what you said, I totally agree with you. And I'm not expecting miracles or whatever. But I can only judge game by game at the end of the day.
Sure.
And at the end of the season is where we can make more of how's the system works and everything.
Would you agree, Dan? Would you agree then on that front that, for me, I think that with bringing in the players late in the window, like when we're talking about, let's be fair, at the back, let's be fair right now, if anyone's going to say they're worried about Spurs at the back under Frank, I think they'd be lying, right? I think we're going to be well organised, hard to beat, and we don't concede goals, right? Do we all agree with that?
Correct.
We've conceded one in 5 we've conceded, right?
My goalkeeper.
Right. 1 in 5. So the thing is, Dan, for him to work on that forward line moving forward, what we're all doing, and lots of people are going, oh, well, in the window, we brought in 3 attacking players, Kudus, Muani, and Simmons. Problem is, not once has he been able to play all 3 of them together due to fitness, due to international breaks, due to injuries, due to the timing that they came in. For me, I think once we get 10, 12 games into the Premier League campaign, and Muani's been there and he's now fully fit, Xavi Simmons has been there and fully fit, these players have actually had time on the training ground with their teammates. Because bearing in mind, Xavi Simmons, until this week, had no time on the training ground with any of his teammates. Right? They all went to international duty. Same with Muani, and he's not fit. I think we judge that side of it when he's got all his players, when he's had them. And again, sorry to sound like a broken record, this is why I fucking hate waiting until the last week of the window. This is why I hate waiting, because none of the players get time to integrate.
I get where you're coming from, but I will still judge game by game. And last night, I think we had a pretty terrible game overall. And if it would have been a better team, I think we'd have significantly lost that. Because we didn't really make any clear-cut chances, I don't think, that you could say, clear-cut chances. And we only managed to get a goal because they screwed up. Now, just because we win a game, I'm not going to sit here and big the game up. Oh, a win's a win. Yeah, a win's a win. All great. But I'm still going to pick out the points where I think it needs fixing and pick out the points where it looks good. And I think there was definitely more things that looked bad in that game than looked good. So when we play a game like City and I turn around and say that was an excellent game and everything, that's all fine. But then I'm going to grill them when it isn't a good game either. And on the last bit of what you said there, I think something that I'm seeing off Thomas Frank at the moment where I think he needs to get his act together is his subs. I think he's leaving the subs a bit too late. I think there should have been changes on like 60 minutes. He left it till what, 70 something at the end of the day. But maybe he sees a reason for that. He's the manager. We'll see. But just on that thing, I can only judge it game by game. And when we're great, I'm going to say when we're great. And when we're poor, I'm going to say we're poor. And then at the end of the season, we can make a whole assessment as there's a lot more to add up together, basically.
Yeah. I just think time is key. And I think as football fans, we don't want to give time. Time is key. As I said, when he's got a fully fit Xavi Simons, a fully fit Mawani, a fully fit Kudus, and he's actually allowed to work with them on the training ground for a few weeks without international breaks or transfer windows closing, then I'll be worried if we aren't looking more fluid going forward. At the moment, I think it's all a little bit piecemeal. It's a little bit all pieced together with not a lot of time on the training ground. By the way, they said yesterday, Xavi Simons has had 2 training sessions as a Spurs player. 2. Like it's not a lot, right? So I think it's going to take time. But hey, Benji, do you want to go?
Yeah, man. Look, initially, I wasn't overly happy with the performance last night, but I have had time to reflect. And I've got to be careful with my opinion because I don't want to come across as negative. Because at the end of the day, we won the game and all the key stats were in our favour. I just feel like our biggest issue at the moment does seem to be that attacking fluidity. But then my answer to that is play Xavi in the fecking middle. I don't know if that's a bit simplistic. I don't know. But I just feel it would be nice for Xavi to build a relationship with a player like Kudus. Me personally, I'm very excited about Mawani coming in. So I'm looking forward to him being fit and ready. I will just say this, my last little summarization, because I don't want to be an echo chamber. I actually feel like Frank has been a very lucky boy with the level of opposition we've played against. I'm being dead serious with the level of opposition we've played against.
PSG, Man City away, West Ham away.
No, I just feel like the last sort of 2-3 games, I just feel like we've been a bit lucky. Look, listen, when a team turns up to play like a Bournemouth, I feel like Frank is going to be found out a little bit. I'm not saying it's him tactically, although he has made his mistakes. What I'm saying is he will need more time to bring this team forward. But I'm going to be honest, my opinion is at the moment, Frank has been a little bit lucky.
That's a really poor take, Benji. That's a really poor take.
I need, hang on. I need more meat on the bone.
Poor take.
What? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Why is that a poor take? What?
Because you said he's been lucky when it took 86 minutes for the best team in the world to beat him with an unfit squad. He's beaten one of the best teams in England.
I just said the last 3 games, and we're talking about them games.
Convincingly, we lost to Bournemouth. Yes, very poor game. Semenyo ran us ragged, but it's not like Bournemouth are a bad team. And West Ham, where we never get any 3 points. We haven't got any points at West Ham. He not only beat West Ham, we made them look silly. And he's got an half-fit team. He hasn't had a chance to put his players together in the structure they want yet. And there's a reason we've only conceded 1 goal in 5 games. That's not bad. That's
so
not
the one team that turned up to play football beat us. And you're telling me, so against West Ham, you think that was a dominant performance, do you?
Sorry. So is Frank meant to win every single game as Tottenham manager? Like, when you're saying the one team that turned up to play football beat us, yeah, a very good
Man City don't play football.
I'm not necessarily saying this is a negative thing, by the way. I just feel like a bit of luck has been involved.
A very good Bournemouth team who have been worked under for years with their manager, who all know their jobs, who are all set out well to play how they play.
And have lost a number of key players.
But Benji, again, this is where it comes down to coaching, right? You can lose key players, but if the team knows how they're playing, players come in and settle into a system that is well drilled immediately. Thomas Frank didn't have that afforded to him. Thomas Frank came into Tottenham Hotspur. By the way, are we forgetting, we've played 5 games and won 4 of them here, right? Like we're talking as though we're bottom of the table and have lost our first Champions League game. We've played 5 competitive games. He's won 4 of them and lost 1, right? And we're sitting here and everything about him sounds like it's like people don't understand what he's doing. He's picked up a team, Benji, with no structure, no organization, no defense in place, right? He has said a million times, I came in here, the first thing I had to do was sort out the defence. I'm paraphrasing, but you've all seen his comments where he's talking about this, right? Just so that everyone doesn't think I'm waffling. Hang on, bless me,
Bless you.
sorry. That crept up on me from nowhere. We've all seen his comments where he is talking about, first thing I had to do, had to sort out the defence, had to give us a base, had to put down some foundations. Problem is, while you're doing that, it's very hard at the same time to turn around and go, now I'm going to have attacking fluidity. And all of this is going to happen in 5 games of football. You've got players not fit. Players signed on the last day of the window that have only had 2 training sessions at the football club. Mawani is not match fit in any way, shape or form. I get it. I don't like what I saw last night. I don't sit there and go, oh my God, we were amazing. But I also see that we have a foundation to build upon. We have something to grow upon. Yes, Bournemouth played us off the park. I thought Bournemouth were excellent. Bournemouth then just followed that up by beating Brighton as well. Bournemouth are now 3 wins from 4, right? Bournemouth are a very good football team. I just think, imagine, would you say the best manager we've had in the last decade or so has been Pochettino?
Yeah.
Right. If anyone remembers Pochettino's first 6 to 9 months, it was horrible.
Yep.
It was absolutely horrible. And already in Frank's first 5 games, he's made us hard to beat. We don't concede goals. There's a shape. Now, is it fluid going forward? No, I don't expect it to be fluid going forward. 1, because we didn't sign what we needed. 2, the 2 players that we've brought in to be part of. If we all agree that in that front 4, whatever front 4 we pick, guys, do we all agree that on any given day, Money, Xavi Simons and Kudus will be part of that best front 4? Do we all agree with that? Whoever the 4th one is, they will be part of that best front 4. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Kudus, Simons and Mawani, right? Simons was signed the day before, but Simons was signed just before the transfer window shut and wasn't eligible to play in the game before international break. So he's literally come back from international break and had 1 training session with Frank, right? That means he wouldn't have played football for a while as well. Colin Mawani signs on deadline day. Then straight away there's an international window and has one has 1 training session before the West Ham game. And people are going, Mawani should be starting. The guy's not fit. Yeah. Surely we realise there's some time needed here. Like we're falling into this trap of we're going to sack managers. I'm not saying anyone said sack him. If this is how we're going to work, we're going to sack managers every 10 games if we don't give them any time.
Look, Sav, I'm not knocking Frank, so I apologise if I come across like this, but it is just
apologise.
It's just my opinion that Frank has got a little bit lucky with the level of opposition we've played. There's been a couple of things, a couple of team sheets I've not agreed with, a couple of. He's made mistakes since he's been at Tottenham. I'm just simply pointing them out. I'm not saying this in a negative term, but
Ben, with that, I agree with you. He's made mistakes and stuff, but for me, and I'm not saying you don't agree, the most positive thing is he's come out and he's actually said that to the media. He said, I made a mistake. Yes. I've done this wrong.
He said that last night. He said that last night about the attacking. Yeah, for sure. I'm with you 100%. By the way, James, I agree with you on the Kudus situation. But no, I go on.
No, sorry. Go on.
No.
Knock yourself out. I was just going to talk about the players, a few players individually moving forward. And I wanted to start with. Can we start with? Hang on. I'll tell you what. Benji, say what you were going to say. Sorry, my doctor's calling me. Sorry, one sec.
No, it's gone now. Somebody else, quick, take over.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Can we start with for me, Mawani? I'm actually really disappointed with how unfit he was last night. I know people could go, "Oh, first game in ages."
Very unfit.
He did not make one single run for anything last night. And I know they may be unfit, but bloody hell, they're fitter than me. And I would have run for at least 5 minutes. And I just felt, I don't know. I know it's early, but I was just expecting a bit more. A bit of, even if it was literally a 3, 4, 5 minute panic, let's just change it. I just felt he'd come on and strutted around like Brennan Johnson, if I'm being honest.
You can see he's not going to be ready for a little while.
I agree. That's what I was disappointed with.
I get where you're saying. I get where you're coming from. It does, to me, it looks like it's going to take maybe 5 games before you can actually start him, because he did look very unfit. Whether that's due to an injury he's had or just due to lack of football, because that's the big difference that I think a lot of people don't see. When they say, "Oh, he's fit," that doesn't mean he's match fit. Match fit and fit are 2 total different things, isn't it? And to get him match fit, I just think that's going to take a little bit of extra time as such.
As he looks like a player that has not played a game of football since the Club World Cup. He looked like it. Of course, it's going to take a few games, especially with a player of that ilk, because Kolo Muani is a player that likes to play on the shoulder. It's going to take him time before he is fit to start making those runs in behind. So a few days on the treadmill, getting him up to speed is always going to do him good. Of course, Justin Cochrane has to start doing his work, because I think the main issue of the way we played yesterday is we didn't have those triangles, and people are going to get pissed off at me talking about triangles, thinking I'm a member of the Illuminati or something, how much I've talked about triangles today. But triangles are the way you build a football team. You've got to have a relationship with them, and you've got a relationship, and you make those 3 sides, you make those little triangles that get you up the pitch. And once we have knit those little partnerships together, the team will flourish. But as Savva said, we've got 2 players coming in at the end of the window. We're gonna have to build them up. Not only match fit, they're gonna have to be tactically fit as well. It's one of the things that Conte said about Basuma. He wasn't tactically fit for my system. They have to become tactically fit for the system as well, of where they're going to be here, where they're going to be on transition. And that's what Thomas Frank loves to do. He is a man that's all about the details, and the devil is in the detail. And once he gets those details in, the team will start to improve little by little. And that's what you've got to do. And that's how a good football team is built: partnerships and stability and knowledge of what you're doing and knowledge of the teammates around you. So James has gone now, but I do agree with him on the whole on the Spence and Udogie part. But Udogie's got to earn it. He's got to earn that shirt, because when he's
not fit either, is he?
He's not fit.
When he came on, he's not fit. He
doesn't have that same energy that he had at the start of Ange's tenure. He doesn't have that. He's not getting into the right positions. And I don't think he was that brilliant when he came on. I don't think he was finding himself in the right position. So it's getting those little bits of details on the pitch. But it's going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. But what is good is we have built the foundations of a solid football team already, which is good. We just need to start putting things on that foundation.
You say with a solid football team there, yeah, and we talk about defence. We've only conceded 1 goal. Brilliant. But solid, I'm sorry, that defence does not look solid with Romero being so inconsistent. I think what a couple of people are saying is a better team, and we got to admit, City did not have a great game, and we did totally outscore them in that game, yeah? Mm-hmm. But with other games, if Romero has his down game as such, Van der Ven can't cover his arse the whole time, and Porro is a liability when it comes to the defence side.
Porro was very good yesterday, though, Dan, wasn't he?
If you let me finish, that's exactly what I was about to say. But yesterday, I think Porro had a respectable game. Yeah. I don't actually think he got that much trouble down the flank. If anything,
I agree.
I think Spence got a lot more hassle than Porro did. And you could see that in Porro's game, where he wasn't having to defend like he has done in other games and gets totally schooled for it. I keep saying Porro is not a defensive-minded player. To get the best out of him, you have him as a wing-back charging forward. So we need a bit more consistency with Romero, especially, I think, because he can't just keep going, having one great game, good game, and then a poor game, and then a good game, and then a bad game. That's where I think we might have been a little bit lucky in a couple of things. But overall, the defence looks a lot more solid. It looks, at least it keeps its line most of the time. And there's still room for improvement. That's what people are saying. But with what we've got so far, if you'd have said that at the start of the season, I think most of us would have snapped that up.
Yeah,
it's good.
Look, if we continue the Muani piece that James started on, I mean, I think this is where, and I'll say this to James if he comes back onto the screen, this is where I think we're being ridiculous. Colin Mawani's come on for about, 13 minutes? I don't know how long it was. Somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. 14 minutes. I don't know what it was, right? Colin Mawani's come on for about 13, 40 minutes, and straight away we're going, oh, he didn't look this, he didn't do that. Come on 13, 40 minutes. Do you guys know how long since Colin Mawani stepped on a football pitch?
It's a long time.
Something like
June,
how many days? Anybody?
Go on.
I'm going to say 39.
77.
Oh, damn it.
Wow.
77, right? So Colin Mawani played for Juventus against Real Madrid on the 1st of July. So you've got all of July, all of August, and we're now on the 17th. So give or take 76, 77 days since he's actually got on a football pitch. Now, people will go, oh, yeah, but he's got fit on the training ground. Big difference. Huge difference that people, I see this all the time. Huge difference. You can have the fittest player in training doing the bleep test. In a game, it's completely different, especially when you are coming into the game in the last 15 minutes and everybody else is up to the pace of the game and you're suddenly going, right, hang on, what am I chasing? Listen, Colin Mawani for me is not an issue at all at the moment. The issue with Colin Mawani is we've got to get him fit and quick. We need to get that guy fit. But for all those people that before the game yesterday going, can't believe Mawani isn't starting. Well, you can see why he's not starting. Destiny Udogie, for me, when he came on, I don't think he looks fit. You've got to remember, Destiny Udogie's had a couple of big injuries in the last couple of years, right? So I agree with people when they're saying, for me, agreed. If Simmons is going to play left, then you need Udogie as the outlet. The thing is, surely we have to trust that Thomas Frank's a clever, astute guy that knows who's capable of 90 minutes, who's capable of 20 minutes. I think we have to give him that bit of credit. And already people going, can't believe he's being played on the left. Can't believe. Maybe that's not the plan. Maybe he's trying to get all these players up to speed. Mate, do you know what I mean? I just think this is a very astute man that we need to turn around and say, okay, do what you need to do. If this is in 3 months' time and the attack still looks blunt, if this is in 3 months' time and we're still not seeing Xavi Simons ever in the number 10, I'll be really worried. Right now, I think this is, and somebody messaged me this earlier. They're in the chat. I can see them right now. Said this is the problem. If you fail to prepare to fail. And I'm not saying by results, but the thing is, you've given a manager no time to work with the players he's been brought in. Let's be fair, we bought in Paulinho, guy weren't fit. We bought in Paulinho, a guy who wasn't fit, just coming back from injury, right? You've brought in Mawani and Xavi Simons in the last few days of the window. The only person who he's had all summer is the one that's looking the best out of all the new signings. Is that a coincidence that Kudus is looking the best out of all the new signings? The fact that he's had him all summer, he's been available for all of our friendlies, that he's had time to work with Pedro Porro, building partnerships, building relationships. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Can I just say on that Kolo Muane thing, just in his defence, I feel like we would have seen a little bit more out of him had the Dean provided it for him. I mean, look, listen, the way the game was going yesterday, it was very, very ball to feet. There wasn't much going over the top. And that's usually Muane's sort of preferred method, which is why you could see him trying to get involved in the game by sort of leaning into the left flank a little bit. But he was closed down very, very quickly. But he's clearly unfit, but I feel like we would have seen more out of him yesterday had the team maybe put some balls through the middle a bit better. I mean, yesterday it was just being pumped out to the flanks constantly. But I've got a lot of hope for Muane.
We've still not seen him with Simmons, though, have we?
This is what I'm saying. Honestly,
right, we're still not seeing him with Simmons. This is why I think everyone's going mad, Benji. I want to see when we get Kudus, Simmons, Muane all on the pitch at the same time.
Yes.
I think we're going to see very different conversations from Spurs fans. But I want this to lead into, if it's okay, guys, we've got to have this conversation. And I'm sure this will be the one where it sounds like an echo chamber. I'm pretty sure. And I will start with a rant.
I wonder who this is about.
Richarlison has to be one of the worst strikers I've ever seen at Tottenham Hotspur. He is dreadful at Absolutely everything. I won't be blinded, guys. I'll let you all have your go on this in a second. I'm not going to be blinded because every now and then he scores a world-class overhead kick. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be blinded by that. I have watched this guy the same way you lot have in a Spurs shirt for now. This is his third, fourth. I don't even know what it is. So he signed the last year of Kane. We've had 2 years without Kane. This will be his fourth season in a Spurs shirt, if I'm not wrong. Right? This guy, somebody in the chat, fourth. Thank you, Cantab. Thank you. This guy has got the worst hold-up play I think I've ever seen, i.e. to the point where there isn't any hold-up play. It's non-existent. His first touch is like a child bouncing off a trampoline, right? He goes down, you blow on him, you just go, and he falls down, he's holding his face, everything down. He doesn't make the right runs. He never looks like he's going to score a goal. Guys, I'm going to... Simple 5-10 yard passes last night. We had to lay players in. Nope, couldn't do that. This guy should not be at Tottenham Hotspur. I don't care if he gets 10, 12 league goals this year. This guy should not be at Tottenham Hotspur. He is in nowhere near good enough for the level of this football club. And I'm getting really frustrated with the number of fans that are just constantly making excuse after excuse after excuse. He gets played on the left. His injuries over the years. This guy is awful. And I want to use this to give a little bit of, when we're going to talk about Kudus, when we're going to talk about Xavi Simons, when we're going to talk about these players, who have they got to play with up front? Who can they play off? Who are they giving the ball to and going to get it back off? I'm sorry, this guy is horrific. Then threw his toys out the pram. You see when his number got put up to get subbed off, throws his toys out the pram. His one attempt at a diving header, which is where I'm told he's his strongest, he ends up handballing it because he missed it. This is what I've seen for years. Dan, I'm going to come to you immediately. I'm embarrassed that this guy is our centre forward. I'm embarrassed, Dan.
He's not a good player by any means or manner. I had this debate with a few people when he scored that world-class goal because it was an excellent goal he scored. But apart from that, he offers nothing. I mean, in that aspect, he's worse than Johnson, in my opinion, because at least Johnson gets more consistent goals. And I think Johnson is a shocking player as well. I'm not going to grill him necessarily for the way he goes down because I don't think many players are that different. Again, these days, it might as well be a non-contact sport when half of them go down like when they just get a touch, they go down like they've just had their kneecaps taken off with a double barrel.
Dan, he's going down. He's going down when no one's even touching him, mate. Like he's just going like down for no reason.
He does. I do think he is a poor player. I mean, don't get me wrong. He puts his effort into games and that, but at the end of the day, you can put all the effort you want into it. That's not necessarily good enough because if you don't deliver, what's the effort as such? Okay, last night you can say service-wise, no striker would have really got it up there for the way we were playing. But again, even when he did have some subtle chances, whatever, he's a terrible player. He really is not good. He's not fit enough to be a Europa Cup player, in my opinion, let alone a Champions League player. I really don't rate the player. Some people say that I sound a bit harsh or whatever. I just don't rate him. I don't think he's good. He has moments.
It's rubbish.
Those moments are just not enough. If he could, I mean, at least with Johnson, you can say he has more than just a moment as such with the amount of goals he does get. But
you know what's concerning?
Terrible. And Richarlison for me is just, I do not rate him in any means or manner.
You know what's concerning? Like we said, the fans said, "Oh, he's back now. He's fully fit." Well, I preferred Richarlison when he wasn't fit. I thought he was better when he weren't fit. Let alone this guy that's fully fit, firing all cylinders. Like, I agree with Savva. The way he goes down, look, for me, I'm a bit old school, like you, Dan. I think men's game, toughen up. But what I will do, and I'll give credit where credit's due, players go down in the right positions and give their team an advantage. Richarlison's almost like he's seen it on telly, and it's like a 7-year-old going, "This is where I dive." He's got no clue of like, "Oh, I'll go down here, hold the game up," or "I'll
But
go
most
down
of the
here."
time,
get myself
James,
a
he
free
don't
kick.
even. Sorry, most of the time, James, just to add what you said quick, he goes down and he don't even get the bloody foul.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even like he's doing it like, right, we're under the cosh here. I think it was Porro did it yesterday. Under the cosh here, turn my back on the player, go down, win a free kick, pressure relieved. You see players doing it. He just hasn't got a clue. I mean, Savva, we've had that conversation in that WhatsApp chat, and everyone still thinks the same. The geezer scored in 1 out of 5 games. It is diabolical. Like, tell me one thing tell me one attribute that he's got that anyone else hasn't got.
James,
For me,
James,
he's that
you know
guy at school.
This
You know that
is
kid
why,
at school that was rubbish, but he would smack one in from the halfway line and he'd go, "That's it, I'm living off that for the next year." Next year at school, he'd do the same thing. He'd go, everyone's like, "Whoa," but he's awful.
James, this is why when people come, see, the thing is, football fans, we've had it drilled into us that we come out with the same lines no matter what the occasion. And what I mean by that is this: if a striker doesn't play well, we have it drilled into us to go, "Well, what service did he get?" I'm not talking about him scoring goals here, James. Right? I'm talking about the basics of being a number 9.
Yeah.
That guy is horrific. And I know the WhatsApp group you're on about. Those people in there, I'll call them out, not by name because that would be wrong. If any of those Muppets with those awful, awful opinions on Richarlison want to come on my show and talk about it, we will do it. This is a guy that in his entire career has never scored over 13 league goals. 13, right? 13. And yet, he's 28, by the way. He's 28 years of age. Never scored more than 13 league goals. And the excuse, James, is not his fault. He's had to play on the left. Oh, but he's played injured. Listen, this guy's playing week in, week out at the moment, right? And living off of an overhead kick against Burnley. Let's be fair. He's living off of a world-class goal against Burnley. This guy, yesterday, when that ball went into him, every time, I don't know about you lot, I'm sitting there going, well, that's that move over. That's that move over. You can see Kudus is picking up the ball. You can see it. And Berbatov, this isn't me just saying this. This is Berbatov, who I think knows a thing or two about tactical players and strikers and link-up play, right? He turned around and he said, you could see, he looks up. Richarlison's not making the runs for him, right? He said, Richarlison's not coming over to help. Richarlison ain't got a clue. He runs around. Every now and then he bustles a few players out of the way and people go, God, weren't he good today? Sorry, what you mean is, didn't he work hard today? But we're in a dangerous era, guys. We're in a very dangerous era of strikers when the first thing people can say about them as a compliment is how they press or how they work hard. If that is the first thing you're saying about a striker, they are not a good striker. Sorry, I'll stand by that. I'll take that one to my grave. I'm so frustrated that this guy is still at Spurs.
I think there's a couple of things you said there. The first two are he's not a striker, he's on the left, or he's always been played on the left. He's actually better on the left than he is up front, in my opinion. So that excuse doesn't work. He's always been injured. He's actually played better when he's come back straight away from injury or just before he's got injured. So there's two. And for me, like I said, I went to the Bournemouth game and it was the worst displaying of any striker I've ever seen in the respect of hold-up play. I don't even expect him to score or be dangerous, but when you're up top, just be an option so you can play a 1-2, take the pressure off. It's almost like the ball goes forward, the ball comes back. The ball goes forward, the ball comes back. It's impossible. It is actually impossible.
It's a very... We've been talking about the referee, how easy he was to brandish yellow cards. I think the ref felt sorry for Richarlison. On another day, with a stronger ref, Richarlison should have been sent off yesterday. He dived 3 times, one for the penalty. He went down and he deliberately handballed it. On another day, a ref would have sent him off. A ref would have sent him off. We've said this many times on your show, Savva, that he's a scorer of great goals and he's not a great goal scorer. like my boy Brennan, he doesn't offer a lot when it comes to the an old school centre forward finds his way into the game and he finds a way of knitting players to allow he would come deep, which allow his right winger to move into the position he's vacated. I think Richarlison was more interested yesterday in winding the other team up than his own performance. And
that's not yesterday, Ben. That's every game he plays.
I know it's every game, but particularly yesterday, Flower Power. Particularly yesterday, it's like on an aircraft when you're told at the beginning of a flight, when you get the oxygen mask, you help yourself before helping out others. He wasn't helping himself yesterday. He was more busy trying to annoy people rather than make a 5-yard pass, move forward. Focus on your own game rather than focusing on annoying everyone else. Because what you are doing is you are annoying everyone else, and you're not annoying the people you want to annoy. You're annoying your own fan base and you're annoying your own teammates because you can't even do the basic simplicities of football, the bare necessities, in the words of the Jungle Book. We might as well have had Baloo the Bear up front yesterday because he was, in the words of Savva, a trampoline, because the ball would come straight back, which would bring more pressure onto his midfielders and to his defenders because he couldn't just hold on to the ball for 5 minutes, earn a foul here, earn a foul there. It was, how can I annoy people? And that's not what I want my striker to do. I want my striker to bring players into the game and make us a more solid outfit going forward.
I would even say
he was particularly diabolical yesterday. I
wouldn't even say I want that. I just want him to offer something, like just something, just one running behind, and then the defenders go, "Oh, this is different," or one short knock, quick pass and move, just one thing different. The defenders go, "Oh, hold on, what's this?" I feel like the moment the defenders go, see Richarlison's up front, they go, "Right, boys, this is easy. Chill."
It's what you need, isn't it? You need your striker to back in. What do you want him to do? Just play like a traditional number 9, back into your defender, receive the ball to feet, allow your midfielder to come up and give it's stuff 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds are taught when they're first playing football. Make yourself available, and as Savva said, it's ball to wall, isn't it? Become that wall for someone else to flourish.
It's the basics. These are, I'm not talking about, oh my God, is he world class? But the basics of football, right? You watch championship games where the ball goes up to the big centre forward, he holds it up, brings someone into, and you're going, yeah, that's the basics. That's what you're paid to do. I watch big Kiefer Moore at Wrexham, right? Big bumbling centre forward, right? But the ball goes into him, he fends his player off, he brings it down, gives it to somebody else, and then spins to go towards goal, right? Richie doesn't do any of this, but you know what will happen? You know what will happen? Against Brighton, he'll probably get a great volley, and everyone will go, oh, Richie's... We're very easily pleased at the moment with footballers. We're very, very easily pleased. Listen, I'm not going to... I've said this for 4 years. I mean, look, Dan, you've worked... Ben and Dan have probably worked with me the longest on this panel. I've never changed my mind about him. I never, ever change my mind about him, even when he scores great goals and people go, you're in the mud. He will score great goals. He will score some great goals, yes. But as an actual footballer, this is one of the worst I've seen up front for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, all day long. Do you know what?
Shockers.
Do you know what? I'll say this. What bugs me more is the fact that managers keep backing this guy, which really blows my mind. But it does make me laugh. When we saw those 2 goals he scored, and they were great goals, you can't get away from it. I saw a lot of people saying, oh, you know, we don't even need Solanke. You know, Solanke's this, Solanke's that. Can I just say this much? For me, Solanke is night and day over Richarlison. And that's not saying much because I don't think Solanke is a great striker by any means. But for me, I would be happy if Richarlison never played for Tottenham ever again. And I will go as far to say this.
I mean, at the moment, though, Benji, we haven't really got any options. Until Mawani gets fit and Solanke's fit, that's our striker. That again, Benji, when I say about fail to prepare to fail, this is what we went into the season with. we went into the season with our only fit striker being Richarlison. So when we're going, oh my God, I can't believe the manager played. What's he meant to do? If you give these players to your manager, yeah, when we spent 60 million on Solanke, that should have been a proper different striker profile to Richarlison coming in.
Mm.
When we spent 60 million on Solanke, that should have been a goal scorer. That should have been someone a bit smaller, a bit quicker, someone who can run the channels, someone who gets shots away, but it wasn't. We bought another. I know you're saying it's night and day. For me, Solanke's he's okay.
5% better, I would say.
Really?
I think Richarlison, I think, has got better goals ratio than Solanke in the Premier League, if I'm right.
Yeah. And that's worrying.
I feel like at least Solanke can do the fucking basics, boys. Do you know what I'm saying? At the very least.
He could do the basics better.
It's in the words of Philly. This is a Dragon Ball Z reference. Absolutely spot on, Philly. So a big up to Philly. He earns his stripes. Fuse them together. You might have an half decent player. Let's get the fusion. Get some earrings out. Get some earrings out. Fuse them together.
That statement is still wrong. You put them both together, you get a bang average. Crap.
But at least they'll work hard, James. At least they'll work hard.
They are.
Go on then, Bash. I'll bite. I'll take the nibble. Are you saying then that when Richie scores, I shouldn't celebrate? I shouldn't celebrate any player scoring a goal for Tottenham, even if I don't rate them. Is this where you're going with this?
Go full Balotelli. Go full
Why?
Balotelli.
Why are you biting on this one? Come on.
For me, I just think that if I'm being honest, I mean, I think this is the worst strike force I've seen in my lifetime at Tottenham Hotspur. I think by none. It is not one of them know how to find the back of the net. Not one of them have got great hold-up play. None of them are quick. Like, I don't get what they bring. I actually look at you, like you said, confuse both of them together, you'll get a good player. No, you wouldn't. Because none of them can score. None of them can hold up the play. None of them are quick. None of them are good at anything. They'll get you by for a mid-table team.
And 120, 100, I think it's 115 million for the pair of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Sav? You really, really hit the nail on the head thinking about it. If the first thing you say about a striker, if the first thing you say about a striker is they work hard, I think that's all you need to know. I think
you love Solanke. What are you talking about?
Do you know what?
What's his best attribute?
I think he gets a bad rap. I do.
What's his best attribute?
Solanke's best attribute. Good Lord.
He works
hard. Hold on. I wouldn't
say.
Answer
my question.
Come
on, Benji.
Oh shit! Wait. Let the wheels turn. Let the wheels turn. I wouldn't say necessarily best attribute. I just feel like he does everything to a decent standard. He can.
So what's his best attribute?
That's hard, mate.
He's pressing. He works hard.
Yeah. You're right. God damn.
So should I play Stanley up front? Stanley will chase that ball all day long. He will press and chase that ball all day long.
I just look. I feel like with Solanke, from what I've seen of the guy, okay, he can finish. He can hold up the ball. Although he's not the best at it, he can do it. He's at least better than Richarlison. We can agree there. He's actually quite decent with his feet as well. Like, I've never seen Richarlison beat a player, where I have seen Solanke beat a player.
Are either of them good enough for Spurs?
No.
Right. This is. Do you know what we're doing here? I'm not saying you, Benji, but what we're doing here is we're doing what we always do as fans. Right?
Copium.
Right. Well, no, it's not even copium. What we're doing is we're seeing one player who's really bad. And because he's really bad, what it does is it actually elevates the player that's not playing at the moment to be better than they actually are. Do you know what I mean?
I would like to put a bit of back into, because we were talking about Colo earlier, that he did go for a challenge very early, and the ref the ref couldn't get that yellow card out for Kolo Muani quicker. So I think he was trying to be more he wasn't sticking his feet into it, because it's like, okay, you've only just come on. Let's not get sent off.
That's an excuse. He didn't do any running.
It is an excuse, James, but he wasn't fit. But it was a lazy tackle, but he certainly wasn't fit. But my problem with that is, if any of us would have went on there, we would have done more running than him.
And
No,
there's
but
no way that
that's
he's
such a
not.
fan thing to say, right? James, that's such a fan thing to say. You've got to remember, right? He's coming. Any person who comes into the game that isn't fully fit and the game is at full pelt, the game is at full speed. Any pro will tell you it's very difficult to be up to speed and be on the level.
I agree.
This guy for me needs 45 minutes on Saturday. This guy for me needs a second half on Saturday against Brighton. For me personally, he doesn't look fit enough to start. I'll be surprised if he does. I think he needs 45 minutes against Brighton. But also, I think he needs a 45 minutes against Brighton when he's on the pitch at the same time as Xavi Simons and Kudus.
90 minutes versus Doncaster. 90 minutes versus Doncaster to get him to play against a weaker side. And we're expected to beat Doncaster. Knowing Spurs, we won't beat Doncaster. But I want to see him get 75 minutes versus Doncaster to get himself into the groove of English football. 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but I'm expecting him to play a longer stint against what's our Doncaster a League One side, aren't they, or are they League Two? I can't remember.
League Two. I want to say, hang on.
So with that, then this weekend, we're saying give him 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes, whatever we decide. Would we play him left wing rather than up front and get him running up and down the wing a bit more? Would you say that?
Not if he can't run.
No, that's what I'm saying. More of a fitness-based thing. If we're winning by a couple, is it like a matter of get him on the wing, just get him running, get him fit?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because on the wing is where you need somebody to be coming back and helping out defence. And I don't know. I don't know this is Mwani's game. Whenever I've watched Mwani play, I know people say he can play on the left. He's not for me. He's not a lefty.
No.
But look, it's good. As I said, I'll go back to what I said earlier on the show. I will judge all of the forwards, not Richie. I will judge all of these new forwards properly when they're all fit and they've had some time with Thomas Frank. That for me, and people in the chat are saying, well, how is he so unfit? Well, he's not played a game of football for 77 days until yesterday. And PSG didn't have a pre-season. Got to remember that. They didn't have a pre-season. So all of these games, like when Spurs, we played Newcastle, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Wickham, Reading.
Luton.
Who?
Sav, excuse my ignorance.
Luton, right? We're playing all these teams, right? The 15 minutes the players get here, the 60 minutes they get there, that's all getting it into their legs. Mwani's not had that. And then for the last 2-3 weeks, when Mwani was in talks with Juve, you've got to remember he's probably not training a lot with PSG. And if he is, it's not going to be full throttle because he knows he's not playing for PSG. So this is why I say you've got to. But I think you've got to be prepared. You've got to be prepared in your summer.
I agree, mate. This is what me and you said right at the start. If you remember, I gave Frank that first, Levy, that first week under Frank, so Frank could come in, have a conversation, have a look at the players, and then it should have all been gone bang, 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 bang. But even that, if you're being linked with Juventus and you're sitting at home on your ass eating cake rather than actually kind of preparing, for me, that's a concern. Yeah, that's a concern. Just at least be half ready. Yesterday, look, I know we didn't see the Mwani and we're going to see a player levels above what we've got. But I was a bit disappointed with how unfit he was.
Yeah, look, let's see how he does it in the next 2, 3, 4 games. I would expect he'll build up his fitness accordingly. But this is like, do you remember when Paulinho came in? I know it's slightly different. He came in towards the end of pre-season. He came in and the first game he got like 45 minutes against Bayern Munich, and you could see he was desperately unfit. You could see
Wasn't it Solanke as well? Wasn't it Solanke as well? Solanke, if I'm not right, was it that not like last day or near the end?
Yes, Solanke got like 15 minutes at the end of one of the games as well.
And he joined right at the end of the window. I'm sure he joined like literally right at the end of the window as well. So it's like a recurring problem, isn't it? Now we'll wait and see what we can do at the end rather than...
It's comments like this. This is where you can tell the difference between someone who understands football and doesn't. It's not about... Kolo Muani's probably very fit, right? Kolo Muani could probably go right now. I've seen this. at football clubs. Colin Mooney could probably go right now onto the treadmill at Spurs training ground and run for 2 hours. That's not the problem. The problem isn't his fitness. The problem is his match fitness, the turning, the moving, the sharpness, being at the level of the others. And if you've got everyone else on a pitch around you who is super fit and you are not match fit, you feel it. You feel it because they're athletes. So I think we need, I think we need to be patient with Moani. I think we need to be patient with Xavi Simons as well, coming into a new country, not having many training sessions, being asked to play on the left a little bit, and then I think he will be moved into the 10. But overall, guys, 4 wins from 5, right? We've conceded 1 goal in 5 games. We've scored 9 goals in those 5 games. If I'm not wrong, I think it's 9 goals in those 5 games. Surely, as Spurs fans, we should be sitting here going, you know what? We're optimistic about what Thomas Frank's going to build in this first year at the club. It is year 1, right?
You can't knock, can you? You can't knock it. There's for me, that rebuild or whatever the word that they want to use wasn't just a rebuild, mate. That was smashed to the ground. Ange did everything he physically could to wreck the club. And, I think we've kept 4 clean sheets this season, weren't it? Like
6.
When 6 last season. So the proof's in the pudding. Yeah, proof's in the pudding.
You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, we have won these games and a lot of key stats have gone in our favour as well. But I don't think it's wrong to criticise some of the performances because otherwise, what are we doing here? But no, overall, you're absolutely right.
Let's look at Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
If has anyone watched Liverpool this season?
Yeah.
Right, Liverpool aren't impressive at all. Liverpool
have
not looked impressive, right? But Liverpool have played 4, won 4, top of the league. They spent £430 million. All other than Isak were bought in like the first 2-3 weeks of the window. So they've all had a pre-season. They still don't look great, right? It goes to show at the beginning of the season, you don't know what's going to happen, how people are going to integrate. I'm not knocking Liverpool. I'm just saying sometimes you get your points, you don't play great, you move on, right? And that's a manager who's been at the football club there now for what, 16, 17 months? Arnie Slot?
And it's a sign of a good team as well, to be fair. When you're picking up points and not particularly playing well, it is, in general, the sign of a good
reason. Within reason. Because Conte did that and then it just got worse.
Good point.
Foundations are being laid now for and it's what Savva and I have wanted, and Dan as well, was we want a team that's difficult to beat and a team that can adapt to the situation. I would like to have seen Frank adapt to that 3-5-2 earlier. I think that would have given us more solidity in midfield, but that's my particular style. But that is the fundamentals of football, being difficult to beat and taking your chances. We've been a team the last nearly 2 years have been so easy to beat, so easy to maneuver.
Yeah.
It's good to see a team that's now got a lot of grit in their teeth and ready to sort of roll your sleeves up and do the dirty to get those 3 points. Because that's once those foundations are fully set, once we've got the brickwork done above the house, we'll start to see that this is a really, really good foundational. But you've got to set those nasty, ugly foundations that are going to put everything together. If you don't have those foundations, your house is going to fall down.
Isn't it like what Savva said? Isn't it like what you said, though? There's only six games in. Like, we are 6 games in. If we're judging everybody in 6 games, Poch is sacked, Son's sold, Kane's gone. Like, you've got to be realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you
James, it's not just us. Look how many clubs' fan bases right now are judging all their new signings, right? And they've all been there for about 2 or 3 or 4 games maximum. Look, everybody is judging their players. You've got half the world going, Florian Wirtz is a flop. Jesus Christ, he's had 4 Premier League games and he's a flop, right? People going, don't rate Gyökeres. Hang on, the bloke's got 3 goals in 4 games in the league and has been in the league for 4 games. Like, every fan base is doing this about their new players, right? I think we need to settle down. We need to realise that we are the club out of all those other clubs at the top that have got a new manager, right? Villa don't have a new manager. Newcastle don't. United don't. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. They've all got Bournemouth, Fulham, Palace. All of them have got the same managers that they've been working with for years, right? We've got a manager we've been working with for 3 months in pre-season, right? And fans are going, oh, our passing still isn't great. It's not going to be great. You know why? We haven't got any ball-playing midfielders. That's going to take time. You can't suddenly come in and expect that he's going to turn Papa Sarr into a passing midfielder. Not his game, right? Paulinho's not a passing midfielder. Not his game. Right. So I feel like we need to, yes, we critique. Of course we do. Otherwise, these shows wouldn't exist. Yes, we critique. But I do think everyone's going well over the top because you've got the same fans, by the way, guys, right? Even in WhatsApp groups I'm in, the same fans, I don't care how we play. It's all about winning. Funny that, because when we do win and don't play well, they're the first fans going, oh, I don't know what Frank's doing with this and that. Well, which one is it? Do you want, as Ben said, do we want the foundations put in place? Do we want to be difficult to beat? And do we want to get 3 points versus Villareal? Or would everyone rather still see an Angepostecoglou team playing Villareal where we're wide open, there's no defence, but we might score a few more goals? Like, I'm not sure that the fan base seems to know what it wants right now in terms of building.
With that one, Savva, we just go back to one of our oldest problems as Spurs supporters. Too sentimental.
Agreed.
In the aspect that Spurs has to play a certain way. It has to have a certain type of owner. It has to have certain money coming into the club. It can't be from here, or the owner can't be this, or the owner can't be that. And that's not the Spurs way of playing. And we like to hang on to players that are 5 years past their sell-by date and everything else. This fan base as a whole, it's just my opinion. I might be totally wrong to others. It is too accepting, too sentimental. On the side of what you said, when it comes down to it, I honestly don't care how we win a game, as long as we win it. But I'm not going to sit there and preach that we've had a good game when it has actually been a pretty shit game.
Sure, of course.
But when it comes down to the crunch, I'm happy we win the game. There's certain times you can look at the manager and say, well, I think the manager got that wrong again. And we won a game. But I don't think he got it right last night. But when it comes down to it, as long as we win, we win. But you're still allowed to sit there. We're still allowed to sit here and be skeptical of certain things.
Of course.
But again, like I said at the start, I just think this fan base, and I do watch other shows and stuff like that, I'd say we're the most sentimental ones out there. I mean, last season, Savva, sorry to interrupt you, Seth, we even had people sitting there saying that I would rather lose the game 6-3 to Liverpool and look like we're playing good football and look like we're scoring goals than win a scrappy 1-0 game. And then about 3/4 of the people that said that went over their moon that we won the cup. Well, how did we play that game in the cup? Probably one of the worst games of football I've ever seen in a European competition, off both sides, by the way. That was an absolute shocker of a game. But we still won it at the end of the day. But I do feel it is way too sentimental.
Dan, I've been sent loads of screenshots this morning because I don't do the X thing. I've been sent loads of screenshots this morning from people of fans saying, oh, God, I'd love Ange back. Imagine Ange if he had played them last night, right?
Oh,
Imagine that people wanted this over Ange's football. And you know, when you sit there and you think to yourself, we as a fan base, we've got this all backwards. We've got this all backwards. We don't seem to want to let a manager have time to build and grow. And I agree with you, Dan, right? I practice the same philosophy that you're preaching. Absolutely. We're allowed to critique whatever we want, right? Me critiquing doesn't mean I hate Spurs. Me critiquing doesn't mean I hate Frank. Me critiquing doesn't mean I can't see a pathway moving forward as a club. I will say what is good and what is bad. But where I draw the line is every game, people are either going, oh my God, brilliant. Look how great we are. We're amazing. Or, oh my God, I can't believe we got him, Frank. He's got no philosophy. Get rid of him. He's shit. We do it with players as well, Dan. Bergvall has a half decent game. People start going, oh, he's like Paul Scholes. This guy's worth 100 million. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, there's no, I don't feel like there's ever any calm. Critique, sure. Yeah. Did we play well last night, Dan? No, we didn't, did we? We didn't play well. But you know what? Champions League, Villareal aren't mugs, right? Thomas Frank's first Champions League game, 3 points. Thank you very much. Put it into that bracket of won't watch that again, but we got the job done. But too many fans are now, everyone's now revisionist. Look at the person who started earlier about Poch. Oh, a Poch team. No, what you mean is a Poch team after Poch had been here 2 years, got rid of the deadwood and built his own team, would have battered Villareal. Not the Poch team that he took over and had 5 games with. And I just feel we're falling into this trap, lads, of now. Like that a manager's going to come in and overnight we're all going to go, oh my God, the defense is brilliant, the attack's brilliant, the midfield's brilliant. Everyone's passing the ball like Luka Modric and Michael Carrick and Rodri. He's a coach. He's not a miracle worker. He's a coach. All of the legacy issues, sorry for the rant, all of the legacy issues don't disappear over a summer. Players not being able to pass brilliantly doesn't change over a summer, right? Spurs forwards not being great they don't suddenly get a new coach and, oh my God, their hold-up's brilliant, their passing's brilliant. Everyone needs to take a little bit of a chill pill for me, because you know what will happen, guys? If we lose to Brighton, there'll be a monumental meltdown. If we beat Brighton, those same people will start talking about, are we in a title race? Right? There's no, it's here or it's there. There's no, let's see. So sorry for the long-winded rant, guys, but I just can't believe it. And I'm sitting here saying all these things, and yet all the messages I'm getting in my WhatsApp, my YouTube, not in here. My comments overnight is, oh, you're negative about Spurs. I'm sitting here saying, calm down. I love Frank. Give him time. And sorry.
That's why I used to say, Savva, so far, so good. Because I'm not going to sit here and go into a mental one like a lot of people. I don't think so many people make the same mistake that they made when Ange took over. Yeah, let's get on the Ange train because we're going for the title and everything. And no, we're bloody not. Yeah. And again,
sorry, Dan, just before I interrupt you, I've got to shoot. So sorry, mate, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Take care, boys. I'll be watching. Take care, boys.
Take care, mate. Much love.
And again, it's another one where I think we get too hyped up too quickly with certain things and too run down too quickly with certain things. But this is where you've got to have that sort of, I don't want to call it bit in the middle, but this is where you've got to be able to be skeptical when it's due and give credit when it's due. But some people don't, they only want to see the credit side as such. They don't ever want to hear the negative side of things. Like last night's game, the credit side is we won the game and that's that. But if you want to totally take the game apart and have a serious look at it, there was a lot more negative to that game than there was positive. But we won the game at the end of the day, so you go on to the next bit. And again, I just feel it's very easily to satisfy these fans, to satisfy a lot of fans as well. 2 or 3 good games, over the moon. Yeah, everything's sweet, everything's cushy, but ignore the problems. But then it's also on a very easy side to 3 games go wrong and we've fallen off a cliff as well. There seems to be a very lack, I'm not saying there's none, but a very lack of in between. It's either one or the other. Like the same it was with Levy. You was either far Levy out or far Levy in. Yeah, it doesn't seem as Spurs fans we're allowed to be, and obviously this isn't at everyone, but I do see a lot of it on other channels and stuff like that, especially through chat and that, where you either have to be one way or the other way as a Spurs supporter. You either have to sit there and say Bergvall is a great player through and through, everything. Yeah, but he had a shit game. No, he did not. You're not allowed to say that. Okay. Yeah. And
why do you hate young players? Why do you hate young players? Because you don't think he was amazing last night. It's
and
mad,
he was, and he was just an example. And okay, so I'll take it over to Romero. You're only allowed to say he's a quality player. You're not allowed to turn around and be skeptical of him because he's had poor games this season, when he's basically had 3 good games and 3 poor games. It's just so one way or the other. I mean, I don't know what people want sometimes. When you come on here to have a chat about the football, you want to dissect the game properly and have a look at it, and we're not all going to get it perfectly right, and we're all going to have disagreements on things. I'm going to see things in games that you two don't. You two are going to see things in games that I don't. That's half the thing of fun of football. But this fan base is just very strange at times.
It's an indicative moment of society, isn't it? It's one of those ones. It's very one or the other. What I like is we are fading in little bits, and people. I think that this is one of the problems with people in society. A failure is seen as a bad thing. Everyone's afraid of failure. It's the Batman quote. Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. That's why you need little things to not work properly. Because if you can't paper over the cracks. If things don't work, you've got to be able to fix them. So I reckon Thomas Frank has already watched that game 3-4 times this morning. That's the sort of man he is. I reckon he's analysing that game down to the little detail to see where did it go wrong. Where did it go wrong? Oh, this can be better here. This can be better there. Things can be better here. And we do need to make mistakes to be the first way of fixing a problem is admitting you've got a problem. And the manager is the first person to do that. And that's why I love this manager. It's different to the previous managers that we've had that never admitted fault with anything. It was like the sun shine out of their own backsides, and the sun doesn't shine out of anyone's backsides. He's admitted that he got things wrong, and that's what's good because he knows he can fix them.
We'll wrap up in the next 5 minutes or so. First and foremost, right? You guys and girls out there in YouTube land, smash the like button. The likes have got dreadful since I've come back from holiday. Come on, smash that like button. I've got guests on who are not being paid doing this show for you. P.S. I won't probably be paid for this show because we haven't hardly any likes, no subs. Come on, smash the likes, smash the subs, and please subscribe to the Hotspur Hood and Tottenham on Tour as well as the Calvin Company. What I would say is this: if you read any autobiography of a billionaire, a millionaire, they all talk about having failed to learn. And the thing is, we as a society are so now every game. Now, listen, if Spurs lose at the weekend, Dan, I'll be annoyed. I will critique. But it doesn't mean that Spurs lose at the weekend and suddenly I want a manager out. It doesn't mean Spurs lose at the weekend and suddenly I think every player is shit or every player is amazing. But we're falling into this trap of Thomas Frank is now so under the microscope every single 90 minutes, rather than anyone allowing him to actually have 3 to 6 months to kind of get this going. Seeing people in the chat going, well, look at Ange's first 10 games. Well, yeah, they weren't sustainable, were they? Because in Ange's first 10 games, he wowed everyone with, oh my gosh, look how we fly forward. Oh my God, look how many goals we score. But what he forgot to do was build a foundation. What he forgot to do was give us a base to build off. So I think everyone needs to just relax a tiny bit. Yeah, critique the players. Yeah, critique manager decisions. But I think people are going, I'm seeing loads of people coming into my thing going, this is why I never wanted Frank. Frank doesn't have a system. Frank this. Thinking, have we lost 4 out of 5 or have we won 4 out of 5? Like, what's going on here?
I think this one was always going to be a problem, and most of us knew it anyway, because there was still a lot of Ange in. And even if you'd have gone and got a manager like, I don't know, let's just even if we'd have got Klopp or Ancelotti in, I'm still sure there'd have been ones out there saying Ange should not have gone.
Sure.
Frank always had that on his back from the very, very start. And I still stick to what I've said for 2 years. Ange had the easiest job a manager's ever had in winning this fan base. He just had to kick the bloody ball forward, which it did do, and then basically fell back on it after a while. I think one thing a lot of people are disliking to an extent, and this is where I come back to the point of how sentimental we are, and Spurs are meant to be played in a set way, and that you can blatantly see, and I think most of us do know, that Frank is more of a pragmatic manager as such.
Yeah. Yep.
He likes to have some sort of control in the game and safe at the back, basically. Whereas again, we go back to this old Spurs thing where a lot of people are saying we should be playing flair football, we should be playing positive football, we should be playing this away. Why? Because we're Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, and look how far that's got us in 20 years. And I think that's what part of the problem is as well. I mean, I like playing 5 at the back, or call it a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-1-2 or a 5-2-2-1. It's all the same formation, basically, a lot of it. And I like being able, the first thing I would build on from a team is my goalkeeper and defence, and then build it up from there. Whereas other people just want to see the strikers there and the goals there and seem to think that you can play a whole season playing you score 3, we score 4. And that was blatantly obvious that you can't do that. And I think it's just each to their own at the end of the day. But there's a lot out there that didn't want Ange to go, and there's a hell of a lot out there that think Spurs have to play a certain way. That's why Frank's going to get a bit of hassle, basically, because he doesn't play what people call, some people call the Spurs way as such. I didn't even know there was one anymore. And because they still wanted Ange in.
Flip that. I agree with everything you just said, but flip that, right? And I do need to wrap up in a few minutes, but flip this, right? Imagine Thomas Frank had come in and only concerned himself with the going forward part of the game, right? And imagine we'd come out in the beginning of this year and we were the top scorers in the league. We beat Villareal 4-3, whatever. You know what people would be saying? Oh, well, the defending's no different to the last manager. Why hasn't he sorted out the back four? And look, I think we need to realise there's a reason why this guy had 7 years at his previous club, because he knows what he's doing, right? He knows what he's doing over time. He knows what to implement. He knows what to work on. He knows what structures need to be put in place, what building blocks. I think we just need a little bit of it. We need to just let him do this. We need to let him do this. He's been very honest, hasn't he, after games, and said, I like that, didn't like that. We're going to work on that. And I think some fans, like I had this conversation with Stel, where he's like, oh, he said that last game. Well, you're not going to have 2 to 3 training sessions in the week and all of a sudden all your problems are solved. Like, it's not, you don't go, oh, I don't like that. Right. 1 training session. Da-da. These things are repetition. This is what you work on every day in training. These things take time. And that's why, look at Man City's first year under Pep. Pep got pelters in year 1. People didn't like the way they played. People didn't like this. Oh, I thought he was going to do this. I thought we were going to be amazing. Right? That was year 1. What happened in year 2? He'd had them for a year, coached them, 2 summers with them. Suddenly, they're the best team in the country winning the league. Now, I know I'm not saying that's going to happen with Spurs, but people need time, Dan, right? People need time. We've got to be a bit patient here.
Of course we have. I mean, again, like I said, I will judge it game by game. When it's a good game, I will sit there and give credit when due. When it's a poor game, I will slate them when due. At the end of the day, they're professionals getting paid $100,000, for God's sake. But to turn around and say after 6 games, 10 games, we're not good enough, or he has to go, you've got to give any manager a season at least to sort this out. And I think one of the first things he's done, which is one of the things that had to be done, which is our biggest problem last season, personal opinion, and I think that was the defence. The defence we had under Ange was absolutely shambolic. It was, to put it blunt, it was shit. Simple as that. And you can already see there is improvement in the defence. Yes, it can bite us in the arse in a couple of better games where Romero needs to get his head together consistently, and we might need to cover Porro a bit more. But you can already see there's more stability in the defence. And that was the first thing you had to fix, again, in my opinion. But that's not the sexy side of the football that people want to see. They still want to see the other bit up the other end of the pitch and everything else and that. Well, the biggest problem was the defence. The same goals every game, the same things every game. And that's just how I take it. As I say, I'll judge it game by game, but then I'll give my proper opinion at the end of the season. Are we making progress? Well, we've only conceded one. Is it because we've played teams that don't really deliver in that aspect? Whatever. But we were playing teams last season that don't really deliver on that end of the pitch, and they were scoring goals against us.
Well, look, let's round off the show with this. Let me do some super chats, because the last super chat I'm going to read sums it all up for me. So I'll get to that in a minute. Don't know what's going on with my mouse. There we go. Big up, first of all, to 2 new channel members. Tweak has become a new member. Big up to you, Tweak. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, my friend. And there will be a members-only show probably on Friday, which you are now welcome to join. Big up to you. And the exact same message to Kesh. Big up, Kesh. Exactly the same to you, my friend. Can now join the channel member only shows. Big up to you. Thank you. I don't know what is going on. My mouse is doing that thing where I can't quite get control over the little arrow. Big up, Kesh. Thank you very much. Michael, very generous. Thank you very much. He said Spence left wing with Xavi as the 10. I don't think you're ever going to see Spence left wing. I think if anyone goes there, it will be either Johnson or Odegaard or Richie or Mawani. It won't be Spence at all. But hey, something needs to change. I agree. Big up to Emma. Said morning, Savva and gang. Big up to you, Emma. Thank you very much. Generous super chat as always. Good morning to you. I hope you're well up there in Teesside. Thank you very much. Big up to the animal, who's been a member for 14 months now. Said I thought the last 6 months of Ange's reign wasn't sexy. A lot of disjointed passage of play and there was no structure. We have progress. The animal. Without talking about Ange too much, I don't think the last 18 months of Ange's reign was good football. I genuinely don't think we played this good football on him that people said. But big up to you, the animal. Appreciate that. Big up to a user. Said to the haters, that's why Frank is a coach and you're not. Look, people are allowed to critique. I'd be a hypocrite to say that I agree with that a user. We have to be allowed to critique. But I do think that, as Dan said, he's a coach that is concentrating at the moment on the unsexy side of the game, which is defending and being hard to beat. Yeah, fans don't care about that. Fans want a good structure and sexy football all within 5 games. Not going to happen. Big up to you, a user. Much love, my friend. And Ian JD, this sums it up for me. Frank has had 3 months of a team, hasn't been coached in 2 years. I expect games like this. We still won, though. Ian, absolutely. Do Spurs have the best squad of footballers? No. Have we had a manager for more than 3 months? No. Have we been coached for 2 years? No. All of that tells you it's going to be this. It's going to be this. We will win games. We will lose games. But what I do know is at the end of the year, bless me, at the end of the year, we will be a well-drilled, organised football team. From then, it's how do we back Frank with better players to kick on. So, look, I'll leave it there. Guys, I want to say thank you. Ben, thank you very much for your time this morning. Really appreciate you. Ben, where can people find you?
You can find us today at 2 p.m. on The Coffee Company. I'm outlining my plans for a new project, which is going to be launched hopefully in the next 9 weeks. So come and find out what we're doing. We might be scaling back the streams, but we're still going to be doing a few coffee streams here and there. And you can find us on the world famous home of Levy Gone, as we like to call it now, on Tottenham on Tour with myself and Mr. Brian Daigle. Find us there. We like to have a chat. Come for a coffee. We got a brand new coffee out, which is very, very tasty. And we look forward to you trying it.
Big up. Dan, Hotspur Hood, where can people find you next?
Obviously on Hotspur Hood, and I'm sure at some stage this week or next week I'll be doing a few more shows.
Perfect. So get over to
me, I just do them random as ever.
Yeah, we know. It's all right. When it's not your full-time job, you can do that. I unfortunately have to plan. Big up to all of you. I'm going to send you over to Hooks, halftime Hooks. When you get over there, just say Savva. Just say something like, Savva, when will you ever win a trophy? Something like that. Savva, when will you ever win a trophy? To Hooks. Big up. Everybody, I'll be back at 3 p.m. for my hour with Charlie that we have every day for Football in 60. Join me then. We'll be talking about Jose Mourinho taking over at Benfica after their shock defeat to Karabag last night. Bruno Lage was sacked. We'll be talking about Arsenal winning last night. Chelsea have got Champions League football. Newcastle have got Barcelona. And we'll be looking forward to all Villa knocked out of the League Cup last night on penalties. Keith Andrews, is he doing a good job? All of these things. Join us at 3. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.